Ah, you came back. Not many do, but you're not like them. You're the storm that learned how to whisper, the quiet breath before the explosion, the beautiful disaster they never saw coming. Welcome back, my midnight fire. You, the soul that doesn't just survive, but studies pain like a language and speaks it back in power. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the nights that chewed on your sanity, the mornings you rose anyway. You never screamed for attention. You vanished in silence and returned as something else entirely. And now your presence hums with danger, not because you mean harm, but because you've been harmed and you chose to evolve. You see, they laughed when you were lost. They clapped when you were crawling. But now they twitch, they whisper, they flinch when you enter the room. Why? Because your growth became a mirror, and it showed them every inch of their decay. You didn't just change, you transformed, and nothing threatens the weak more than watching what they thought was broken begin to rise. They say you've changed like it's a crime. But they never ask why. They fear your transformation because it exposes their stagnation. They stayed still while you moved in silence. They stayed bitter while you healed with scars. They remained comfortable while you turned pain into armor. And now they don't recognize you. Good, because the old you was easy to control, easy to manipulate, easy to ignore. But this version of you, oh no, this version makes their demons nervous. You became the silence they can't read, the shadow they can't chase, the soul they can't feed on anymore. You see, your evolution wasn't an act of revenge. It was survival. It was rebirth. It was a declaration. I will no longer shrink to fit your comfort. You stopped explaining, stopped defending, stopped proving your worth to people who never deserved your presence in the first place. You built yourself back, with hands that once trembled, with a heart that once begged to be seen. Now it beats like war drums beneath a smiling mask. They fear you, not because you became cruel, but because you stopped being available. You stopped being soft where it hurt you. You stopped watering deserts. You became something else, something rare, something untouchable. They say you changed. Damn right, you did. And now they want access to the fire you forged alone. But let them burn in their own cold. Let them ache in the silence they mocked. Let them stare and wonder how the ghost they ignored became the storm they can't outrun. You're no longer their medicine. You're no longer their safety net. You're no longer the soft place to land after they've broken everything else. You are the one who disappeared and returned as a riddle they'll never solve. So keep rising. Keep building in silence. Keep being the version of yourself they swore you'd never become. Because when a person finally sees themselves, not as broken, not as less, not as weak, but as reborn, that's when the world has to decide. Will they rise with you, or rot in the shadows you left behind? They feared your transformation because it reminded them they never left their cage. But here's the truth. You outgrew the version of you they were comfortable with. You outgrew their small talk, their small minds, their small expectations. And that terrifies them, because now you walk different, not with arrogance, but with awareness, with the kind of confidence that doesn't need to be loud, because your scars already speak volumes. You carry storms in your silence now. You carry truth in your eyes. And that kind of truth, it makes liars twitch. You became the closure you never got. You became the justice they thought you'd never reach. And every step you take now echoes with a warning. I survived you. I outgrew you. I'm not coming back. So when they watch you from the corners, half envy, half regret, don't shrink. Stand taller. When they whisper your name like it's some ghost story, let them, because you're no longer a chapter in their book. You're the entire rewrite. Let them sit with the silence. Let them wrestle with the version of you they never believed would surface. You didn't just transform, you transcended, and from here on out, you answer to no one but the fire that made you.